I'm Gary with Taylor Adhesives, and today I've got Efren Lamos Jr. and Efren Lamos III here helping me. Now, Efren's a second generation floor installer. Efren 2, and E3 as we call him, is a third generation floor installer. So we've got some really good help up here. Both of these guys are CFI certified, and Efren is a CFI certified trainer. So he actually helps with CFI training. So one of the things at Taylor that we do is we're very involved with training because education for the installation community is important for the entire industry. So we're tied with CFI, IUPAT, and NWFA. If any installation is done with our products using a certified installer with any of those organizations, you get a lifetime warranty on the installation instead of our normal 10-year warranty. So it really helps to get that education. Also as a way for us to recognize the professionals that are in the industry that want to further their education, and make certain that they're doing things properly. And we're going to talk about 3 different products today. The first product we're going to talk about is Taylor Dynamic. This is our #1 selling product in the industry, and the reason for that is it's because it's so user-friendly and so diverse. Now, Efren's going to spread some adhesive. We've got a dried film up here that you'll be able to see on video, and then he'll spread some fresh adhesive. And what he's going to show you is the difference between a wet film and a dry film with our Color Ready technology. This product can be used for LVT and LVP. You can use it for fiberglass sheet goods, homogeneous sheet goods, felt back sheet goods, carpet tile, rubber flooring, and even broadloom carpet. It can do a lot of different things. The advantage with that is for the flooring contractor, fewer SKUs in your inventory. The advantage for the floor installer, fewer pails going out to the job site. You may have an installation where you've got VCT going in a storage room, LVT in the common areas, and carpet tile in the offices. You got one adhesive going to the job site. It just makes life a lot simpler. You can use this as a dry set for a PSA. You can use it as a semi-wet or even a wet set. So it's one of these products that do a lot of different things. To top that off, it's a high moisture tolerant adhesive. It's not a moisture barrier, but it's a tolerant adhesive that'll go up to 99% RH, 12 pounds of vapor emissions, or even a pH of 12, so it'll handle an awful lot of alkalinity. Most acrylic adhesives only go up to a pH of 9, so will handle 100 times more pH or alkali than a traditional pressure-sensitive adhesive. And you can see the stark difference in color. The reason for that technology is to make it simple for the installer to walk on the job site after he spread his adhesive, take a glance into the room, and see that the adhesive is ready to go. If you're going into it semi-wet, you'll see the little stripes of the adhesive where it's dry between the ridges, wet on the ridges, and that gives you that semi-wet application. The semi-wet application has become critical. It's become important for a lot of flooring contractors because the flooring manufacturers are requiring a semi-wet installation. So this is really just a wonderful thing. Simplifies your life. Fewer SKUs in your warehouse, fewer adhesives going out on the job site. It just makes life a lot easier. Now you can see the difference in color. That's phenomenal. The camera really shows that up very well. And this is a product that is just extremely user-friendly. Efren's going to drop a couple planks in there, and if anybody wants to come up and play with it, you're welcome to. If you've got any questions on any Taylor products, I've got a stack of catalogs up there next to the videographer, so that we've got those ready to go. You feel free to take those, and we've got business cards here if you've got any questions later on. And quite honestly, if you got any questions that come up during while we're up here, feel free to ask them. We're here to help. Yes. With the Dynamic for LVT and LVP, you'll either use a 1/16, 1/32, 1/32 U-notch for non-porous substrates. For porous substrates, a 1/16, 1/16, 1/16 square notch. For fiberglass sheet goods, 3/8" nap roller. Broadloom, depending on the backing, it could be a 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/16 V-notch, or that same configuration is a U-notch for unitary and woven or double stick cushion to carpet. So it really just gives you a lot of versatility. Now the last plank he's going to go into is going to go into a both dry set and what it looks like. And as you can see, he's rolling this with just a hand roller. I always recommend rolling every floor, resilient floors. That's what I cut my teeth on. Of course, when I was installing, LVT wasn't around. It was vinyl asbestos tile and a lot of Coralon and designer slurring and things like that. So I was working actually with inlaid vinyls. Those products had to go in as a wet set. But this is one of those products that can be used for so many different things. And we do have a lot of flooring contractors that will use it for VCT simply because of the moisture tolerance. So you've got that high moisture tolerance because of the cross-linking package that is in this product. Do we have any guinea pigs who want to try to pull a floor up? No? Oh well. But if anybody's got any questions, there's Beth in the back there. She runs the inspector's school out of Dalton, Georgia. What? You want to go up and pull? Yeah. Come on up. Just try to pull up a plank. Now it's going to come up because it just set in and it's still pressure sensitive. It hasn't transitioned yet, but it's got an aggressive tack. And that's really what you want. You want something that's going to bond it, hold it in place. The cross-linking package is important. It's not like a traditional pressure sensitive that will remain soft set indefinitely. As this cross-link, it becomes permanent. And it goes to a firm set. Our original transitional pressure sensitive is a product called Pinnacle, which was originally our 2091. Now that goes to a hard set. After about 2 to 4 weeks, this goes to a firm set. The difference is that you can still pull a plank up without it tearing things up. With the hard set product, you go to pull up the plank, you're going to pull a patch with it and other things that go along with it. So plank replacement's a little bit more difficult. That softer set, that more firm set, also gives us the ability to go in with carpet tile and things like that. So it really made that product just more versatile. And since it's more versatile, it can be used for so many different things. It really makes your life a lot easier. Now we've only got 30 minutes for all three products, so I'm going to keep on moving along. If anybody's got questions on anything, feel free to ask. This is a product called Ridgeline, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I love wood installation. I prefer wood floor. Quite honestly, back when I installed, it was cut-back adhesive going down with parquet, and then we had chlorinated solvents, which caused brain cancer and things like that, which probably explains my twitch. But this is one of those things that can be used for, you can use it for solids, you can use it for engineered, you can use it for bamboo. There's really no species limitation on it. Here's the difference. This is 100% solids, no isocyanates. That's huge. So it will not damage the finish of the wood. Last year I installed some wood in my house. I did a 7.5-inch European white oak with an oil finish. Anybody that's worked with oil finishes knows they're a little harder to clean up. I didn't want to use a traditional urethane. We've got those. They're great products. They're extremely strong. But the cleanability aspect of this product is huge. Plus, isocyanate free. It's not an asthma trigger. Unfortunately, I've got occupational related asthma, and I don't like to be wheezing all the time. I do not have that problem with this product. And it really works out a lot better. The cleanability aspect is phenomenal. You clean it up with a dry cloth while you're working, and after it's dry, just simple mineral spirits or denatured alcohol. My preferred cleaner with any of these products is going to be denatured alcohol because it will not leave an oily residue. That's a big advantage when you're cleaning it up, and it also dries fast. Now you can see Efren's using a 1/4 by 1/4 V-notch trowel. What that does for you is gives you moisture control and sound control. The moisture control on this product is amazing. It's 100%. There is no limitation on it. We do not require moisture testing. We do not require pH testing. It'll handle pH ranges all the way up to 14. So alkali does not bother it, which is great. You don't have to worry about that. So you don't have anything like that going to bother the flooring, and it won't affect the bond. Moisture will not bother this product either. It is moisture cured, but it is isocyanate free. So it gives you the advantages of a traditional urethane without the baggage of the hard cleanup. To me, that is huge. Now you're putting down a thick membrane of adhesive with this product. So one of the critical things when you're putting it together is you want to line up your joints and kind of drop it in so you're not pushing adhesive into the joint. If you push adhesive into the joint, it's basically going to create a hydraulic pressure. That hydraulic pressure will be hard to actually get your joints to line up, and that becomes a problem. When I'm working with big planks, like when I did my house, I used a lot of my laminate straps so I could pull everything in tight because it was a thick, heavy product. And it had a European style joint, so pulling them together with the straps made a world of difference. Obviously, you always want to roll a glue down floor. If you look at NWFA guidelines or any of the installation guidelines from the flooring manufacturer or from the adhesive manufacturers, we want those floors rolled because what that's going to do is allow you to get that 100% transfer that you need. You can see he's using blue tape. You use tape straps to hold it in place so your joints don't open up. It is critical with both of these products, really any kind of flooring that's going in, is you get the substrate flat. That substrate has to be flat per ASTM F710, which is basically 3/16 to 1/8 of an inch in a 10-foot radius. So you've got a pretty big, if you got big problems, you need to either remove the crown or fill the lower areas, the bird baths, with a Portland-based patch. If you're working with either of these hot adhesives, moisture-proof adhesive or high moisture tolerant adhesives, you want to use a high moisture tolerant Portland-based product, because what that will do for you is it will hold up and it's not going to break down while you're working. One of the things that happened, I've seen a lot of times where patches have failed, or the primers that were used under the patch failed. So you have to look at every component that goes under the floor also to make certain that they'll withstand the moisture and pH ranges that you're going to run into in that installation. Anybody got any questions while I'm working on this? While he's working on it, I'm just watching. They don't let me on my knees anymore because they have to pick me up, and it's not a good sight. It's kind of sad. People start crying. Now, the beauty of this product, like I said before, is the cleanability aspect. It's huge. And if anybody, I know this is a weird question or a request, come up and sniff the adhesive. You're going to notice that there's really no strong odor to it. Now, you work with traditional urethanes, they've got a strong odor. And I've worked with this product and done demos with journeyman installers that have worked with urethanes for many, many years. And usually the first comment I get is, it doesn't stink. Well, adhesives don't have to stink to work, quite honestly. And that's why we're at the forefront of producing these type of products. Taylor we're really innovative. And one of the things I like about the company, I've been with Taylor for 21 years. We were the first flooring adhesive manufacturer to develop environmentally friendly adhesives. We were one of the first adhesive manufacturers, not the first, to have Green Guard certification and a lot of other green certifications. I think we were the first one also to have cradle to cradle certification. So we've developed adhesives that are not just good for the environment, but they're good for the flooring installer. You remember, our customer is the floor installer. We don't want them using a product that's going to make them sick. I don't want them developing occupational related asthma late in life like me. So it's one of those things that we just want to try to help with. So developing products like this that are going to solve problems for you, to me, are really important. So Efren keeps on moving along. I can't stop this man. And the next product we're going to work with is something that you have never seen before. This is actually a non-skid coating to go under loose lay free fit products. You can also use it under carpet tile and fiberglass sheet goods. It's just a non-skid coating. It's roller applied. It goes down like a primer. So it's very simple and easy to use. We applied some yesterday, so we've got a dry film because we got just a short working time here. And then he's going to apply some just to show you how it goes down. And we got a couple of loose lay planks over there that we can sit on there, and I'm going to ask people to come up and try to shift them, because once it's sitting on that film, it doesn't move. We actually have got caster equipment in our tech center in Dalton, Georgia. And what we've done there is we have actually done a lot of testing with this product to test to see how it will handle caster equipment and rolling loads. And we've gone through 56,000 cycles, 56000. That's a lot of cycles with no movement. Ironically, we took the same loose lay plank and tried it with no gravity, and after 27 cycles, 27, just 27, it opened up, all the joints moved. We set it up again to see if we maybe made a mistake on the first one, and within 27 cycles again, it failed. 56,000 cycles later with gravity, no failure. This is a revolutionary product. This is changing everything. If you're doing multifamily, if you're doing owner-occupied homes, if you're doing assisted care facilities, things where there's going to be a lot of change outs, it makes a difference. Now remember, this is not adhesive. I can walk right on it. The cat can walk across it. Junior can walk across it. You can roll his cars across it. You don't have to worry about anything bothering it or anything sticking to it. So what it does for you is it makes it simple and easy. Now I know I'd worry about professional installers, but DIY, it's a great DIY product too, because the homeowner could roll it on there, let it dry, 30 to 45 minutes later, they can install their floor onto it and ready to go. If you're doing multifamily, this is really cool. You do your prep work one time. You apply your gravity, let it dry, install your floor. A couple of years later, tenant moves out, they want to replace the floor because the floor got damaged, scratched, or whatever happened to it. You're actually pulling it up. Worst case scenario, wet mop that gravity. You got a clean substrate, you go back and install. And in some cases, you could have a situation, maybe a flood or some kind of another event. and you can actually, pull up the floor, let everything dry out, and reinstall. It's really a cool system, and it solves the problem. And the thing is I know a lot of installers. I've been doing this for a long time. So I talked to most of the installers, and they said with the loose lane free fit, they do full spread anyway because they don't like callbacks. This eliminates the callbacks. So now somebody's got to be brave and come up here and kick this around for me. Who's got a big boot on? Anybody? Anyone? Oh, here we go. This guy's a big guy. Don't step on that side. Step on this side. See the board move?
Yeah, whole board.
Now lift it up. That's just gravity holding it in place. This is cool. Now don't try to do that Tom Cruise thing where he slides across in his socks, because you're going to face plant. That's all you're going to do. You're going to catch, stop, boom, down. But this is just one of those amazing products. It just does a lot of different things for you. Also, gravity gives you moisture protection up to 90% RH, so it'll protect the floor covering from that. It'll handle pH ranges up to 14, which is cool again. So it's just one of these products that solves a lot of issues. Anybody got any questions for me? I see the floor guy out here. I think he was in one of Efren's training classes, and they're in Fontana. We've got a facility in Fontana, California, with actually a space that's set aside for CFI training. We're that dedicated to CFI and NWFA, and along with IUPAT, because education in this industry is absolutely critical. Like I said, I've been doing this for 53 years. I could do it for another 53 years if I hang around. But the thing about it is this is one of these things we need to try to help the industry. We need to get more young people involved with it. And as they get into it, they need to get trained, and these organizations are critical for that. E3 has gone through the training. In fact, I think he is an assistant trainer too, aren't you? So he does a phenomenal job. I'm glad to have him here. Anybody got any questions for me? I don't know how long I've been talking. I don't know if I've run over time or run short. We've got plenty of time? Okay. Anyone? Nope, pull it back. No transfer on the back. And it's funny, you can even set down the smooth side because it's got that little coarse back on it. No, it still won't slide. It's just amazing the way this stuff works. And one of the cool things about this is what you maybe don't know about Taylor, and like I said, there are catalogs up here that give you a lot of information, is that we're part of Meridian Adhesives Group. Meridian Adhesives Group is a compilation of 17 companies. And we're from flooring adhesives to concrete. We do concrete infrastructure. We also do electronics and packaging and product assembly. But the beauty of that is we've got this cross-pollination of knowledge from one industry to the other and from one company to another. And by doing that, we're able to get a lot of information. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that Polycom, one of our product assembly companies, actually developed this product for us. So this is a product that was the inspiration of one of our salespeople, Ted Egan. And Ted came up, he wanted to have a non-skid coating that you could install a free-floating floor without having to worry about using adhesive. And so Gary Bartley, the head chemist at Polycom, he developed this product for us. And it is just absolutely cool. I know Ralph Grogan says that he developed it, but I don't know if that's true or not. Ralph's right over there. Yep. We've got a bunch of catalogs up front. It's got a lot of information on it. So if anybody's got any questions or anything like that, I've also got business cards. If you guys got questions, feel free to give us a call. I mean, we're here to help and support in any way possible. Anybody got questions? Joe from Canada. On the gravity, your coverage is going to run between 300 and 350 square foot per gallon. It depends on the porosity of the substrate. You can go directly over gypcrete with it. If you do have a very porous substrate, we do recommend 2 coats. If it's a non or relatively dense substrate like a power trowel concrete slab, just 1 coat's all you really need. You can go over plywood, you can go over gypcrete, you can go over concrete, you can run over pretty much any normal approved substrate. And that's really one of the advantages with this. It just simplifies everybody's life. And to me, the turnarounds are huge. I'm going to let you listen to Efren. Here, you want to tell your story?
No, we're good.
Okay, yeah, he's good. Oh, well.
Okay. You're doing great.
I don't know about that.
Okay, amigo. Thank you. Okay.
What questions did he have?
Okay, he was just asking how soon he can get onto it after he spreads it. I told him roughly about an hour. After applying it, an hour, he can get onto it.
Within an hour, we're ready to go. If you want to play with this more too, we've got some over in our booth. Yes, sir.
What kind of material we can install in this product?
Your loose
Just
lay,
this one?
Yeah, any loose lay LVT. So these are products that are designed to lay flat on their own. So usually like not the 2 millimeter products, but they're usually like 4.5 to 5 millimeters. Some of them are 4 millimeter. Fiberglass sheet goods works really well with it. Carpet tile also works really well with it. I had a customer that was doing a raised access panel substrate with carpet tile, and he went over with gravity. He wanted to do it. He said, I don't want to glue it because they want to get into these panels really easily. That's what he usually loves it.
I got another question about
Yes, sir.
the moisture. Affect the moisture?
It'll block moisture all the way up to 90% RH with 2 coats.
To go
Yeah, 2 coats.
to avoid that.
Yeah, and it'll actually provide moisture protection. So the beauty of that is not only does it prevent it from sliding and moving, it'll protect the floor covering from moisture damage. Yes. On the RH, 90%. That's 2 coats, yeah. 10 pounds of vapor emissions. 1 coat is 87%. Sorry, I'm getting old, you know. No, not kidding, I am old. Anyone have any questions? Are you alive out there? B3. Anyone have B3? It's mostly dry actually.
How
Yeah,
fast was that? 10 minutes?
it dries very quickly. In this environment with low humidity here in Las Vegas, it dries very quickly. If you're in the Gulf Coast or something like that, humidity's high, it could take a little bit longer to dry. Very porous substrate is going to dry faster. But yesterday when we applied it, we had our second coat dry within an hour with both coats. We did our first coat, it was dry, did our second coat, but the humidity is so low here it dries. So it's maybe not quite normal at this point. But it's one of these products, once you use it, you're going to love it. You can also coat it today and come back next week, next month, and install the floor. As long as you can keep other trades from getting it contaminated. But if they can work on, like you've got an electrician that needs to go in there, he can walk around on it. I just want a painter or a drywaller on top of it, slopping on stuff on top. But other than that, you're good to go. And I know back when I installed it, it would always drive me crazy. I'd prep my substrate, get everything ready to go, and then somebody would come walking in there. And when we worked with cutback adhesive, we spread it the night before. So I can't tell you how many times I've come in the morning and there are black tar footprints across something because somebody walked right across there and wasn't paying any attention. And you tape it off, doesn't matter. You got cardboard up, you got things, barriers. Now they don't care, they move and just walk right on through it. You wonder if they pass they pass an IQ test at some time, but no, they'll just go on through there. But that's the cool thing about this. You can walk across it. It's not an adhesive. Now you get a product like Dynamic. You got 12 hours of working time with it. If you got one other trades walking on there, you're going to find shoes out there in the field, and that's going to be a problem. Maybe somebody will still be standing there because they're just stuck, but that won't be a problem with gravity. Anybody got anything else? No, strictly interior. Yeah, it's not really an exterior rated product. My concern is if you got water on top of it, it would act as a lubricant and then the material would move. I don't think the moisture would bother it, but it would actually be the water itself would actually negate the value of it. Cold temperatures, if you're down around 0, it could also be a problem. 0 Fahrenheit, not Celsius, but if you get down to those type of ranges, it becomes a problem. And what'll happen is the product will get hard. It's a temporary problem because once it warms back up, it'll soften and it'll work. Because the material is actually soft, the coating is relatively soft, and that's how it gives you that high coefficient of friction. Anything else? I just keep talking. How's my time? I got 10 minutes? Well, I'm going to keep on talking. So, what should we talk about next?
Look, guys, we spread this, about 5-10 minutes ago?
Here you go.
Because it's so porous, it did absorb into it, so the first coat's already pretty much ready. You can apply your second coat, depending how porous your subfloor is. It's gonna, absorb the moisture into it. The first coat will act almost as a primer, and then you apply your second coat. Give that approximately about an hour to flash off, and you're good to go, guys. If everybody wants to come up and check it, it's already dry.
Yeah, I encourage you guys to come up and look at this stuff. This is cool.
Pásale. Con permiso. Mira, apenas tenemos 10 minutos. Sí. Como está bien poros, la humedad lo jaló para adentro, so va a servir como un primer. Y poniéndole, este ya lleva 2. No, entre más que le empuje no se mueve. Sí. Queda casi como un hule.
Here, try to push it from the end.
Y entre más,
Isn't that amazing? But if you lift it, it'll slide.
Wow.
This is a cool product. And if you've never tried something like this, you really need to try this product. It is really interesting.
Offer $20 if anyone can get it to move it when they can.
1 second.
Okay. Okay, this is our director of marketing, and he's going to put down $20 if anybody can get this plank to move without lifting it.
Te aguantas el 90% la humedad. 99.
So if you can get the plank to move,
99%.
here we go. Anyone? Anyone? If you move it, you also get a date with Efren.
Oh my God.
It don't move.
That's crazy.
Try to pick it up now. It just lifts right off.
It just slips off.
Yeah, it's got some static cling, but it's just amazing. This is really, if you do free fit and loose lay, you're a hero with your customer because you don't have demo cost. And you think about that, a lot of businesses and things like that, they like to turn things over, multifamily, apartments in particular, they're going to be changing things out. People change their mind, they want a different color or something like that, it just eliminates those problems.
How much time do you dry? How much time do you dry?
You saw how long he took over here? That's dry.
That's dry already.
That's dry.
Oh, that's
But
great.
this is shinier because it's got 2 coats. This would require 2 coats because it's so porous. And since it's that porous of a material, we want to be able to go with 2 coats. The first coat works like a primer, second coat's your bond coat.
You don't have to let it dry or anything.
Yeah, but once it's dry, it's done. And even with 1 coat, it still got some restriction, but not as much as it did with 2 coats. You put 2 down because most of it absorbed into the
So
substrate.
you don't have to let it dry to apply the floor, or you have to
You
wait?
let it dry for the first coat, then you apply your second coat. But you can see that's dry in what it was 10, 15 minutes. And then you come back and you do your second coat. Now, if you're going over like a densely poured, like a slab like this out here, it'll dry fast, just 1 coat. You can also go over vinyl, and I didn't mention that, and I should have.
An LVP?
As long as it's down, glued down. I wouldn't want a loose laid and go over it, but if it's a glue down, you could.
So it's not about floating.
There you go.
Floating floors is not good.
Yeah, well, this is basically just a loose lay floating floor. You can also use it with laminate and things like that. Click products will work with it, a lot of different things.
You know, sometimes the laminate
Yeah.
tends to move.
And that becomes a problem. We were testing, and that's one thing I didn't mention. I'll mention it with, I'm going to grab the mic real quick. Hand that back. And you see, young lady just, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, she just actually sparked a memory for me. At my age, I need those kind of nudges. Cattle prod works too. But she asked about like things like laminate and things like that. You can't use it with WPC, SPCs, those type of products. We actually tested with some products where they were having problems with joint failures because of rolling load. So what we did is we put them in our caster equipment, and it worked great because it took that stress off, that lateral movement from the rolling load, and it prevented that joint from fracturing, which really made a big difference.
Yeah, because with time, people walk, and some floors are not very good and they move.
Yeah. Well, they may have a kitchen, they got roller chairs on it, or a desk chair or something like that, or somebody in a wheelchair. And this will eliminate that type of movement. So it's just one of those little added securities. Okay, I'm sorry, I talked way too fast. I shouldn't have had all that caffeine this morning.
You are very savvy. You know a lot of things.
We got a stack of catalogs up there too. And I've got a bunch of cards too. Anybody's got questions on anything, feel free. You can take as many as you want. Unless you need more than what's there. Then we'll have to come over to the booth and grab more. But there's a lot of information, and those are our new 2024 catalogs. There is just a ton of information in there. We give you all of our moisture limitations, the trowel recommendations, how to read our batch codes. Any kind of information you could possibly ask about adhesive is in that catalog. It's also on our website, so depending on the way you prefer to get your information, I love the catalogs, they're nice, but our website is really good. We also have an app, which is really good. The thing about our app is you're able to access all kinds of information, and I use it pretty much probably 10, 12 times a day. Because somebody asked me a question, something I haven't looked at in a few minutes or something like that, and I am a senior citizen, so consequently I end up going to the app to get that information. It really does make a difference.
So you can order, right? You can order and they will send it.
Everything we do is through distribution.
Colorado.
In Colorado, we've got a few distributors. We've got PFS out there. I'm trying to think of who else we got in that area. If you go to our website, we have a distributor location map. You put in your zip code, it'll give you the location of the distributors close by. And it really works out good. The nice thing with that is we're there to support you, and everything goes through distribution. The beauty of that is adhesive is expensive to ship, and you'd end up spending more money for shipping than you pay for the adhesive. So buying it from a local distributor makes perfect sense. And I keep on talking. And are you awake out there, young lady? We keep thinning down. And remember, if you move this plank, you get to win a dream date with Efren. He's not paying attention. Yeah, when he starts teaching, that's where he's at.
What is this, like fiber or like, fiberglass? No.
Yeah, it's got fiberglass reinforcement.
Fiberglass.
Yeah, any of the loose lay free fit products are going to be fiberglass reinforced because they need to be dimensionally stable for that
But you're
application.
not gonna feel it when you apply it. You
No.
have to be careful
No.
when because you
No.
know when you touch fiberglass.
Well, it's not in the adhesive. It's in the backing of the plank. So it's actually sandwiched in there, and the reason they do that is for dimensional stability. And you'll see that with fiberglass back sheet goods too, like the IBC sheet vinyls and things like that. Those type of products are fiberglass reinforced so that you can loose lay them, but the problem is if you roll a chair across, you might get a bubble. This would prevent that.
I have a question. It will work for vinyl sheet?
Yeah, for fiberglass reinforced, yes ma'am.
Wow. And I hate to put the other.
You don't have to worry about glue.
Sorry, how you call the other? That's,
Like a pressure sensitive?
Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
because if you touch it, girl,
It's all over. You can walk across
and
this,
it's not gonna move.
no transfer.
Wow.
You can just get up here and there it is. No stick. I like it.
Yeah, the other one is make some else.
Yeah.
It's good, but okay, I'm gonna tell him later. That's a good information to know.
I really appreciate your questions.
I'm excited now that
Thank you for paying
I hate to
attention.
put those floors.
Anybody got any other questions? We're here.
Don't be shy.
Efren's up here too if you guys have questions for him.
40 seconds.
20 seconds? Tick tock, tick tock. I feel like Jeopardy. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming. We appreciate your time. And please come over and see us at our booth. It is 5646. Sorry, my memory is fading. But yeah, booth number 5646. Yeah, we're with you every step. Thank you very much.
Look, Mom. I made that.